Hola, mi amigos. Soy la señora Jonas, and welcome to our art lesson this week. Today we're exploring the culture and customs of Mexican and Latin American holiday, Dia De Los Muertos. In English, this translates to Day of the Dead, which takes place on October 31st through November 2nd. Art and decoration is a major component of this holiday, and one of those decorations is called a Nicho box or Nicho frame. These boxes are a Latin American version of the Roman Catholic retablo, which are paintings of saints that were commonly done on wood or tin surfaces. Nichos, however, are different than the retablo in the way that it's a three-dimensional type frame that honors or memorializes a person who has passed away. Traditional Nicho boxes were made from pretty humble materials. Anything from a small box could be made into a nicho. Inside a traditional nicho box, there is a key object or figure who is meant to be memorialized and honored by the viewer. Many nichos have images from religious and popular Latin American culture, like saints and folk heroes. Today we're going to make our own nicho frame as a way to commemorate someone we know who may have passed away, or just as a decoration for the Dia De Los Muertos holiday. So what you're going to need today is a colored piece of paper, any color will do, a white piece of paper, scissors, a glue stick, and markers or colored pencils. If you'd like, you can use other types of materials for your nicho box. So if you have a small box lying around that you're not using, you could use that. Another thing you could use is a toilet paper roll. This will also work if you have one available to you. So our first step here is going to be to make our nicho frame, the outside of our frame. So we're gonna use our colored paper for that. So go ahead and put your white piece of paper to the side. We'll need that in a minute. And our first step is going to be turning your paper so that it's long way. We call this landscape. Nice and long, horizontal. And we're gonna take the two sides and we're gonna fold them in. But we don't want to fold our paper in half. We want to fold kind of the two flaps on the side here so that they meet in the middle. So if so you kind of meet them in the middle so the edges touch. And once you crease those down, after you open it back up, you kind of have three different sections. So you have a small section on either side, and then this kind of big section in here. So we're not folding it in half, we're folding the edges in to kind of create three sections. All right, so then you can kind of open it back up a little bit. We still have those creases you can see. And now go ahead and turn your paper so that it's up and down, kind of our vertical way. And we're gonna take this flap here, this small section, and we're gonna fold that in half. So fold it in half to the crease. So now you have two sections. Two sections on this side, your one big section in the middle, and then a section on this side, right? So now we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing on this side. We're gonna fold this flap in half, right? So now we have two small sections, a large section in the middle, and then two small sections. That's how it should look. And it all should be kind of folding in, which is what you want. Okay, our next step is going to be to secure our three-dimensional nicho. So we're gonna take our glue stick, and on one of these sides here, we're going to add glue. So I would do it on the right side because we want to fold in our paper. So do it on the inside. We're gonna fold in our paper, oops. And we're gonna stick that glued edge and section onto the other small section. And then we're going to make sure it sticks. So you might have to put your hand kind of in the tube here and make sure it sticks down. So then you should have kind of this tube-like thing where if you put it on the table, it should stand up mighty tall, because that's what we want it to do. We want it to be able to stand up on the table, but it's kind of like this tube shape. Awesome. So now what we do is we have this large section that's kind of rounded here. We're going to actually kind of fold that section in half to the best of your ability. So kind of just crease it on this side. So it's okay if this kind of still stays open. You'd like that. You want that. We're just trying to divide this and kind of crease this down the middle because we're going to make our frame and we want to make an opening in our frame. So we're going to make an opening on our frame by cutting on this crease that we just made. Okay, so we're going to cut this way, horizontally. And you don't want to cut all the way through, you only want to cut a little bit. Right, so you still have some room. And then we're going to squeeze in and come to the edge here. So we're going to go in that cut, come to its end, and then cut vertically for a little bit. And then if you want to add like a point, you can do it horizontally like this, just to end your frame. Or if you want to add like a triangle top to it, you can, but I'm just gonna end mine here, like that. All right, so now when you open it, you have this beautiful hole in the middle. So you can kind of open it, flatten it out a little bit again. So now you've got kind of your frame. So you should be able to put your hand through there and see through that piece, okay? So now you can leave your nicho like this where it has a flat top. But if you want, you can make it shorter or also you can add kind of a decorative top to it. So I might add a decorative top. So I'm going to squeeze it, kind of crease it again this way so that my face here is flat on top. And then I'm gonna take my scissors and just kind of cut through it. I think I might make like a try and make kind of like a castle kind of design. But make sure that you keep both of the sides down so that they match. Voila, now you have kind of a cool design on top there. So you kind of have a cool top design to your nicho. So now we have our nicho frame. Pretty easy to get done. It stands on the table all okay. We have our opening here so we can put our picture in there. But before we do that, we want to decorate our nicho. So usually our altars have lots of pretty designs on them. So we're gonna color or add some designs and patterns to the outside of our nicho. So you might have to flatten it a little bit. have finished decorating your nicho, feel free to put that kind of off to the side. See how it looks when it stands up. But now we're going to do our image that goes inside of our nicho frame. So if you'd like, you can use a photograph that you already have of someone who you know who's passed on, or maybe you can draw a picture. It can be a person, a pet, a celebrity, a cartoon character, whatever you'd like, to kind of celebrate someone or something. If you do not have any ideas of who you want to do, then follow along with me and we can draw a sugar skull together. And we can put a sugar skull inside of our nicho, since skulls are very popular in the Day of the Dead decorations. So I'll walk you through that next. All right, so we're going to draw our sugar skull for our nicho frame, but we want to make sure our skull will fit inside our frame and show through. So we're going to have to measure our paper a little bit. So kind of measure your nicho and see kind of how big it is. Maybe kind of make a mark or so of how big it is and how far across it is, but you can always just guess. I'm gonna guess that my inside frame is about this big. And we'll see how that works. So kind of guess, but we can always guess and check if it doesn't quite fit. So how you can check is take your piece of paper and kind of slide it into your nicho there and see if you can see it in the frame. So it looks like that'll work just fine. So we'll take that out, and this is what we're going to draw our sugar skull on. So skulls look really complicated, and in real life they are, but we can draw a kind of simplified interpretation of them, and they still read as a skull when you look at them. So the first part to a skull is to draw kind of almost a big circle, but it shouldn't quite be a circle. It's kind of like almost a half circle. It kind of looks like a bubble, but we're gonna leave this end off. So we want it to kind of be rounded around there. And that's gonna be our top of our head where our brain lives. And then you can kind of go in a little bit with a straight line here on either side of your half circle here. And then we're just gonna draw kind of like a square with 3 sides. And this is kind of our skull shape. And if you want, you can always round it out here, make this less sharp if you'd like. Or you can leave it kind of with those sharp corners, whatever you'd like. I kind of like to round mine out a little bit. But here now we can start adding the details to our skull, because this is the basic shape. We have our teeth here. A bunch of squares there. We've got a nose, which is kind of like an upside down heart. And then we've got our eyes. So there is our skull basics, but so now you can outline your skull and kind of these skull parts. Make it stand out a little bit more. And there we've got our skull, and now we can start adding our decorations, because if you've seen sugar skulls, they are beautiful. They have flowers and patterns all over them. So make sure you add some sort of pattern and decoration to your skull. Awesome. So once you have your sugar skull all ready to go, or maybe you have your photograph or your drawing, our next step is to put it inside our nicho so that it stays in there. So what you're going to do is flip over your drawing and grab your glue stick and put some glue on the back of here. And then kind of like we did before when we were measuring, we're going to slip our drawing kind of into our nicho here. You might have to grab it from the bottom. Make sure it doesn't get stuck on there when it's not in the place you want it. But make sure your skull can be seen through the window of your nicho, and then kind of press down. And voila, you can kind of fluff it back up. And there you have it, a Dia De Los Muertos nicho. So create an altar, an ofrenda in your house. You can display these for October 31st through November 2nd for the holiday. Kind of arrange a few items together to kind of commemorate those who have passed on and kind of celebrate their lives. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I'll be excited to see your pieces. Thanks, everyone. Bye.